What's going on YouTube? It's your boy again, back with another video. Today I kind of wanted to talk about a not so controversial take. To be honest, I feel like this is a pretty normal take, but I wouldn't be making this video if it, didn't still happen. So, and this is totally not because I was a victim of this, but um, so first of all, I want to go over my experience, and then I'll talk about my feelings and whatnot. So not too long ago, this is about a year ago now, a little over a year. I was, using Hinge, which you can say what you want, but it's definitely better than the other options. But I was talking to this girl, and we were kind of sort of hitting it off a little bit. We exchanged contact info, and we planned this date. Right now, to be fair, okay, I did make this date a movie theater date. We went to go watch The Joker 2, which was an awful pick for a movie, but I didn't know that at the time. But so that's already two strikes on my end. So I'm not gonna completely say that I wasn't at fault here. I did some silly things, but I digress. Um, but so yeah, we go to the date, and we watch the movie or whatever. We kind of give commentary here and there, you know. And we in the movie, I expressed my disdain for the movie a lot, which I don't know if that this is what made her like I don't know if this was the straw that broke the camel's back or anything like that, but it could have been. But we went our separate ways, and then the next day, I tried talking to her, and she's giving me these dry responses, and I'm like, whoa, okay, like something is either wrong or like I'm about to get ghosted. And so, uh, eventually I did get ghosted because she just kept getting drier and drier until eventually she just stopped answering completely. Like she didn't tell me anything. Like the last thing she said was like, "I think, oh, I can't really hang out with you. Like I gotta go to work this day or something." Which, mind you, she had told me her schedule beforehand, and she was most definitely not working that day. So I called her out on that, and she just left me on red, and that was that. So, but I kind of just wanna. First of all, I'm very much over it. I've got a girlfriend now, and things are good between us. But at the time, it was a little frustrating because I was like, what the hell did I do wrong? Like, I thought we were kind of vibing, sort of. Like, I'm not the greatest at social cues, but I thought she was kind of messing with me. And after that movie date, like, all of a sudden, it was like every text that I sent her was an inconvenience. Like, it was a complete 180. You know what I'm saying? And you could argue, oh, this was a sign that she was gonna eventually do this to you. And like, okay, it may have been a sign, but it doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it still doesn't feel good to be ghosted in general. And so, yeah, it was just really confusing, and I was just like, all right, well, I gotta move on. And that's kind of what you have to do in scenarios like this for my folks that haven't really been too haven't had too much experience in the dating pool. Just know that it will happen. And unless you get lucky, first try, and boom, you found the one immediately, and you're already good from there. But it will definitely happen to you. It's just the way people are wired in this generation for some reason, and it sucks. I think it sucks. I think that ghosting people is childish and immature because it instead of just telling the person you don't like them and you don't want to talk to them anymore like that, or say, hey, can we just be friends? Like, I don't really want you like that anymore. You just cut all contact and move on to like the next person or something. Like, it's just not. It doesn't feel good on the receiving end at all. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I've never ghosted anyone before because I definitely did like once or twice. But I realize that doing that is stupid and it hurts people's feelings when your guys are vibing so good, and then all of a sudden you switch up and you decide to be a completely different person just to get that person off, just because you're scared to say, hey, I don't want this anymore. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a real like beat around the bush approach of that, of like rejecting somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a good way to do that. And some people, I assume, do this because they just don't know how to press the block button. Like, those girls that are like, oh, I can't block them. That's me. And like those type of people, those are usually the ones that end up ghosting people. And it's just like, why? Like, you have a voice. You know what I mean? Like, you can say no, and you can say, I don't want this anymore. It's not rocket science at all, I don't think. And you know, it sucks. It sucks to be on the receiving end of that, because you just feel like, you're going through your head over running all the scenarios back, like, oh, what could I have done different? Like, did I mess up here, like. And it's like, no, you weren't the problem. It was just the other person didn't have the guts to tell you that, hey, I think this is not gonna go anywhere. Like, we're done here. I don't understand why it's so hard to do that. But actually, you know what? I think I do understand. I think, like, because social media is the way that it is, like, a woman can get on a dating app, and, she, as soon as that account is created, within like the first hour, boom, like 50, 80, 100 likes, just like that. Like, and she has all these men to choose from. And a lot of guys, let's just be honest, we don't get that same. I'm not trying to be sounding like an incel or anything, but like a lot of guys don't get that same treatment. Like, it's just fact. We don't get the options like that, but uh, an average looking woman does. So I believe that because social media is constructed that the way that it is, and a woman can see all these different men in her likes, that it's not as hard to just be like, you know what, I don't want to talk to this guy anymore, because guy number three over here is a mega chat, and he has all this money and this and that. And you know what, like, guy number one, like, I'm okay, I'm cool off that, so I'm just gonna just leave him hanging and just move on. And that's another thing too that a lot of girls probably do, is they'll leave a guy hanging because it feeds their ego. Like, oh, look how many notifications I have from, just like people in general. But like, if she's ghosting dudes left and right, then those will stack up pretty quickly. So I believe it's an ego thing as well. So I feel like any person that ghosts people is just not a good person in general themselves. Now, like, it's obviously different if like you ghosting someone because like they're weird, and like they're obviously like being strange to you, and making advances that you don't want. Like, that's a whole different story. That we're not talking about that. We're talking about you guys go on one or two dates, and or you haven't even met up yet, and you just, you know what, I'm not really feeling it, and just like go ghost, like go Danny Phantom or whatever you want to call it. Like, it's not a great thing to be on the receiving end of. Um, but yeah, if you are someone who's watching this and you tend to ghost people a lot, I implore that you do not, because it is not a great feeling, and it will crush your self-esteem. And for someone who, has gotten ghosted recently, like, you have to kind of just take that L on the chin and just move on. Like, unfortunately, that's the way that it is. Like, I'm an overthinker myself. I tend to get in my own head about, oh, if this and this happens, like, what would be the outcome? Like, it's not worth living life like that when it comes to like relationships and stuff. Like, you kind of just have to take things at face value, unfortunately. Like, if a girl says that she likes you, like, and you start going into this overthinker mode, like, oh, well, how many guys has she told that before, and like how many were before me, and this, that, like, you just can't think like that. You have to take the L on the chin. You have to move on, and hey, ghosting is a red flag in my book anyway. So, in any case, you probably dodged a bullet, because that means they don't know how to communicate their feelings like an adult and tell you what they're feeling. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it stems from a lack of being able to communicate, or in better words, a lack of ability to communicate. Like, this like ghosting doesn't just happen just because, oh, I forgot to text them back, whoopsie, my bad. Like, in this day and age, like, come on, everybody's glued to their phones. Everybody's always on, doom scrolling on TikTok or Instagram Reels, or all these social media platforms. Like, if she didn't have the time of day to respond to a text, which by the way takes like literally under a minute, then she's really not feeling you like that, and you just gotta accept that fact. And unfortunately, you gotta accept that reality. Not everyone's gonna be into you. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this.